Lao Tzu was once asked to define life and death. Here is his response. Life and death are one thread, the same line viewed from different sides. Wellington Raymond added, life is eternal, love is immortal. Death is only a horizon, and a horizon is nothing save the limits of our sights. Yes, it is the woman, and you may be wondering why I am starting on a melancholic soliloquy. Good question. Not too long ago, a great woman, a woman of substance, shared this space with me. Unfortunately, she has bowed out. Her name is Noni Robertson.
I tell women because this is the first time we're having women deal with what our mothers didn't deal with. And if you ask me what is that, our mothers were not the typical mothers, not some, not all, but some of them. Most of them were not the breadwinners. The daddies were the breadwinners. The daddies paid the rents, paid the school fees and all that. The moms took care of the home. Whatever enterprise they were involved in basically was not for the home. But we are now in a generation where the woman is forced to be the head of the household. She's the one making all the money, she's the one paying the rent, paying the school fees, and then she still has to cook. So most women are finding it difficult. How do I balance career and marriage? He's home all day, he didn't go to work. I'm the one that went to work. While at work, he called me and said, buy fresh fish and cook pepper soup for me when I come back. So resentment sets in. And they didn't see their mother take this role. And the men is also difficult for them because they didn't see their father washing dishes. They didn't see their father helping out with the chores. They saw their daddy being served. But now you want a 21st century woman to serve you who is working, paying for the rent. So there is a balance that still has to be stricken. One of the things I try to tell women, there is really no strict rule for this thing called marriage. Each individual or each entity or each marital entity is different. What works for A might not work for B. For instance, my brother-in-law loves to cook. That doesn't mean you have to now, you've not cooked breakfast. No. But women, we should understand our role, like you call it the domestic engineer. Our role is to make sure the kitchen is functional, the home is functional. The fact that your husband decides to cook is an addition, There needs to be an understanding and communication, whereby the woman is now working 6 to 6 and the man is not working. A loving and caring man will try to make things easier for the woman, so there is no resentment. I had a lot of women that have walked out of their homes and all that because of these things. They feel they work all the time and the man is at home and still and then I have some of them that are home, they won't want to cook, they won't want anything, they want the woman to still come back in. But it's a man, when a man is like that, it's a man that is losing his self-esteem. I still tell them, it's your job, find something is missing somewhere, So for him to want to tell you, I'm the man. When a man tells you I'm the man, then he's no longer a man. Because when you look at the physique of a man, you should know a man is a man. So what have you done to beat down his psyche? So whatever it is that you've done to build down his psyche, build it up. Once you build it up, he won't tell you I'm the man. Okay. I have an interesting view on life. I don't have night, I don't have day. I do what I have to do when I have to do it, and then I'll tell my body it's time to sleep or it's time to wake. So I break rules. So I am not caged by anything. So if I have to work all night, I work all night. If I have to sleep in the morning, I sleep in the morning. So I don't have a rigid. I follow life freely. One of the things I've trained myself to do is to be non-reactional and not to be driven by emotions. I've seen a lot of women tear down their homes, tear down relationships, tear down children because of their they react to everything. So by being non-reactional gives me time to think and process, and then I'm able to try to come up. But honestly, it's a challenge.
That program hit 500 views within the first 1 hour it was uploaded. Yes, that's how much she touches life. That's the meaning or value she's added to people's life. Now, a little before that interview, about 2 weeks before the interview, she had her 50th birthday anniversary celebrated in a rather very special way. She visited homes, institutions, celebrating with the less privileged. Suleja Prisons was one of them.
Did you know today was going to be your last day?
No.
When you were sleeping, did you know that last night was going to be the last night you will be here? But we have been working on trying to get you out since last 2 weeks. So sometimes when things are going on in your life, you don't know that God has already placed you in the heart of strangers. And behind the scene, they are working. When you woke up this morning, did you know you were leaving this place today? But God has made it possible.
Yes, my name is Adiwole Adibayo. I'm a Lagos guy from Ikeja, Hausa. I came down to Abuja to come and do my work as a shawarma guy. But I bought the Sulu phone. I saw myself in Suleja Prison. But at the time, I want to thank God because he said, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. When I'm outside the world, I never knew what is Bible with me. But I thank God I came to Suleja Prison, going to church, praying to God, and God really answered my prayer because I'm working as a kitchen inside the prison. I went to serve Gamza to eat, Suddenly I heard my name, Adiwole Adibayo. I said, what happened? I thought it was transfer. I said, God, which one is this one? I don't want transfer. Before I know, they said they don't pay for my bill. Who be that? I don't got family for here. Who don't pay? They say in our church. I say, church, God is wonderful. God, I want to give you glory, honor, and adoration. May your name alone be exalted and be praised in Jesus' name. Thank you.
You live in Lafia?
Yeah.
So what brought you here?
What brought me, in Guarumpa, I'm doing POP work. So the man pay us money that we should work for him. The money he gave us advance is 150,000. We are three. Our phones with our money. Then the armed robbers now came and collected the money with our phones. Then at the site, when they took us to the court, the other two people was then granted them bail. I was granted bail too. Then I didn't have backup the person that will bail me. Then they now bail and they now go. They now brought me to here. That's what brought me to here.
Is your family aware?
My family are not aware because if they are aware, I would have been out.
When was the last time?
That's almost about 8 months now.
8 months.
8 months.
From SARS.
From SARS.
Yes.
So he didn't even commit. He didn't commit any crime.
Aware.
Family is not.
So whether he's alive or dead.
But today, this afternoon, my daughter is going to see me in Jesus' name.
Yeah, this afternoon his daughter is going to see him.
Yes, sir.
What's the name?
Issa Yusuf.
Issa Yusuf.
Yeah. And I thank the Christian brothers because I'm a Muslim.
Yeah. Turn your life around from this day forward. There is great news in you. Okay? We're going to find out where you all are staying and the transportation and all that, so you guys can be able to get to. But please don't come back again. Turn your life around. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. See your car. You must see. See your car. Can we open it? Take your car. That's your car. The hand is paying him. He wants to touch and he's paying him. Your car, yes, your car. My car. Yes, your car.
It's your car.
It's your car. He's pointing at it. Yes, it's your car. It's your car. It's your car.
Your car.
It's your car.
You'll be fine.
No?
It's your
It's your
car.
car. It's your car. Yes, your car. You're going to get well when she says my car. Says my car. Keep it for
Oh yeah,
him.
they'll keep it for you, eh?
Alright, so let's leave him. Have they told us how much is left? He said open it. Open it, open it. Let's open it for him now. Can we open it? Yes. Please, let's open it. He said open it.
So open it for you.
Yeah. He said open it. You see, one of the things, no matter how sick they are, one of the boys, once they see the cars, and the girls, once they see the girls, he said open it. You are opening it, okay? Wow!
Beautiful.
Wow! Give me.
Prophetess Noni Robertson was the president of Nigerian Women in Clergy. She was also the founder and visionary of Sisterhood Africa Global, a group that has given vent to several women world over.
But Sisterhood Africa is something I just stumbled into. So there was no preconceptual, there was no plan. Actually, it started virtually. I didn't understand what God was, wanting to do. It started by, there was a female group that dealt with issues of the women, but they were not allowed to talk about God. And I found that appalling because, God should be the center of everything. And I didn't find it, I was disturbed. And the Holy Spirit asked me, what are you going to do about it? So I said, okay, I'll set up a group where we can discuss all the issues that women talk about and then bring God and bring Christ in the center. And it went viral. In Sisterhood Africa, now we also have the Sisterhood Global, because now we started having other women from different continents saying they wanted to be part of it. And Sisterhood Africa was peculiar to the African woman. It was first started as a Facebook group. It grew to 3.5 million under 6 months. Facebook shut it down. So when it was shut down, then I had to.
Why? Because
they didn't say. They didn't. I heard they were saying, "Who is this woman that has this much influence on women all over the place?" We were the fastest, or we're the largest community group they had. They had to investigate to find out who is she, what is she telling them, why are they following her. But I could have shut down. I could have said, "Oh no." But that made me to reinvent myself. We now have a Sisterhood Global platform. We now have our own social media platform, the first ever faith-based all-female social media platform in the world. So this made us to start it, and then we went back again and restarted the Facebook group. Now Facebook is now calling me, trying to find things they can do with me. There are so many things that to come back.
And you're telling them I'm the beautiful bride.
No, but the ones I want to do with them, I do. The ones I don't want to do with them, I don't.
Now, she had a particular hope for women, good prospects for women, and she encouraged them to be themselves, stand tall, irrespective of their antecedent.
Most women, marriage.
Marriage?
Yes, marriage. You see them once they're 27, 25, 28, they stop living. They're looking for a husband. And they've lost purpose. So anything else, they don't even want to do any. The most important thing in their life is, I want to get married. And then when they get married, no matter how abusive the relationship is, they want to stay there. So I still find it that is the self-actualization. The woman still has not quite found her voice. She still has not quite found her role in what it is where she fits in the society. I'm going to go through religion aspect. When a woman, through no fault of hers, is divorced, she's not allowed to minister. She's not accepted, to minister. When a young woman has a calling and she's still single, she's in trouble. If she's pretty, the mommy G.O. does not want her around her husband. And then if she's close to the husband, he wants to sleep with her. I'm just being as real as it is. So, I found out that most of my colleagues, women in clergy, only want one queen in the castle. They don't like bringing up the younger ones. So who's going to mentor this lady? Who's going to tell her you have a calling? Who's going to tell her you can do it? Who's going to tell her God is in you? Who's going to watch her fall, stumble, and pick her right up? So that's one of the problem we have. We don't have mentors. Women, it's their young. Like I said, only one woman in a castle is difficult, and that's one of the things I'm doing through sisterhood. The single women are looked down upon. Those are the ones that they have placed labels on. And many of them, I will tell them, the difference between the single woman and the one without a child, she kept her child, you aborted yours.
One of her greatest skill was the power of counseling. It's a special gift she got, and she sure knew how to use it.
Having lived in the United States for over two decades, I'm married to one, our issues are different. When I counsel an American woman versus counseling an African woman, then counseling a Nigerian woman, there are different dimensions. So you have to be able to understand culture and religion plays a lot of role in our society. So when you start counseling a woman, removing culture, removing religion, you're setting her up for failure. When we start talking about feminism, all religion talks about submission.
Yes.
So I tell a woman, if you can't submit, then marry. As long as you want to marry and stay married, learn to submit. And during dating, look at him if he can lead you, because he's going to be your head. Once you get married, a man is the head. There is no two ways about it. So during courtship, you look at this man. Can he lead me? Mm-hmm. Can I submit to him? If you can't, then don't marry, because it's not going to change. Then if it's somebody that has what you look for, just know that if you want peace to reign in your home and if you want to stay married, you must submit. So when it comes to the Western world, it's 50-50. So the kind of things that will counsel an African woman is different from how I will counsel people from other continents. Yes. And Niger own is even very special. So that's what it's all about.
So, Nani was a total woman, in and out. Her motherly role to her children was never compromised.
The two, my eldest son is 24 and my daughter is 22. So we lived in America. When we decided to come back, they all came back with me. The teenagers, they were in their teenage life, and they said they were ready to go back. So they went back, and I couldn't afford to allow them to go with the babies, though they're 9 years old now. So I stayed with two up here, and they're also in college. So it makes me to run up and down. Yes.
You're freer actually, even though it's a lot of job, because I know when your kids are that age, it's an imperishable age, so you really need to do a lot.
You have to be there. You have to, that's also actually their last phase with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so. My daughter is my replica. I have a stubborn streak, and then I just see that in her. And then they would say, but mom, you did this, but mom,
The worst thing that happened to you, if somebody from your donkey years comes back to tell them your story.
Yes.
They will always use it against you.
My son wanted to plait his hair, and I didn't want to. And then my husband came and brought out a picture of when I was a teenager. It was on. Then my two sides of the hair were scraped, and the hair was red.
Oh my God.
And then he says,
oh my God.
I said that was there, and they told me this is now. So it's just seeing yourself in your children, but now knowing that you have to allow them make their mistakes while you watch and guard, and knowing they will still turn out okay.
The prophetess had a special Bible quote. She loved it so much that she kept it fixed on the front of her profile on the internet. A close look at this quotation for me was not just an ordinary Bible quotation. It totally encapsulated who she was, her times, her life here on earth.
Every mountain top is within reach if you just keep climbing. We do not give up. our bodies are becoming weaker and weaker, but our spirits are being renewed day by day. Our troubles are small. They only last a short time, but they are earning for us a glory that will last forever. It is greater than all our troubles, so we don't spend all our time looking at what we can see. Instead, we look at what we cannot see. That is because what can be seen only lasts a short time, but what cannot be seen will last forever.
Life is not about how long one lived on earth, but how well one lived it. Prophetess Noni Robertson may have lived just 50 years, but they were years well lived. Adieu, Noni.